and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video we have day 8 of the Charlie's Nail Art advent calendar. The days are just flying through. Like, I seriously feel that December is going so quickly. Are you all prepared for Christmas, or are you all a little bit like me and everything feels like it's lastminute.com? Anyway, let's take a look at what is inside bag number 8. So here we have some super cute reindeer gold charms. I haven't used anything like this in a long while, and in all honesty, when I use something like this in a set of nails, if I'm doing, say, a design, I will pop the charms onto a plain nail so that they've just got a plain base and the charm really pops. But obviously I didn't feel like I could do that for a video, as it would be a super simple video. So I decided I would do a little design and would find a way to incorporate the charm. So I'm going to come in with Kiki London's Ivory. Now, I love Ivory. It's from their latest collection, which was the fall 2021 collection, and it is just a beautiful off-white creamy colour. But I have really loved it for Christmas nails because it teams up absolutely beautiful with anything gold, and it gives off a really luxurious feel. So I've popped the first coat of that down and cured that for 30 seconds. Now, it is a very pigmented creamy consistency colour, so it probably didn't need a second coat, especially because I'm going to be coming over the top with lots of nail art anyway. But I did decide just to pop down a second coat just so that it was all nice and even, and I've just got into the habit a lot of the time of doing a second coat. But look how beautiful it looks. It's such a gorgeous creamy shade. So I'm also going to be applying some foils. So I'm coming in with the Kiki London foil gel, and I'm just going to pop a layer of this down over that ivory, just a thin layer, but I am going to be using a full cover foil. So I want to make sure that that foil gel, it covers the entire nail. I like to make sure we've got enough down the sidewalls and on the very tip of the nail, as that's where I sometimes find you don't apply enough foil gel and then your foil doesn't adhere properly. So I've cured that for 30 seconds, and this is the gorgeous foil I'm going to be using. This one is also from Kiki London. I feel as though everyone's got lots of amazing foils around at the moment. So you can pick foils up at Kiki London. You can also pick them up at Charlie's Nail Art. I do have discount codes for both of those brands, so I will leave them in the description box below. So now that my foil gel has cured, I've placed down the foil and I'm just rubbing out any creases, making sure there's a nice smooth application, working my way from the center of the nail outwards. I'm giving it a really good rub, especially down those sides, just to make sure everything transfers nicely. And then I'm going to slowly peel that foil back, and as you can see, it has all fully covered. Just look at that application. I love the Kiki London foil gel. And like I said, look how beautiful the gold looks over that ivory base. It's really pretty. So I'm going to seal this foil gel in using my matte top coat because I want to do some hand painting over the top. And I do like to hand paint over a matte base. Now, this particular design, I did a very similar one over on the Kiki London channel, but I left it glossy. So I decided to do this one matte so that there's two different. So you can see what it looks like, both matte and glossy, if you check out my Instagram page. So how beautiful does it look once that matte top coat has cured? It gives the gold foil a really pretty embossed look. Now I want this to look like a present wrapped up, so I'm going to come in with Ivy Forest, which is also from Kiki London, and I'm basically going to draw on some ribbons going up and down the nail. So I've popped some down on my palette, and then I'm taking my Kiki London stripe liner brush. This is probably my go-to nail art brush. I use this more than any other brush, and I'm basically going to start off by drawing a straight line down the center of the nail. Now, I'm not the best at hand painting, especially when it comes to straight lines, but I have been over this last year anyway, trying to do a little bit more of it to get better. But it is all about practice, to be honest. So practice, and you eventually get there. But as you see, I've come in, I've drawn on a straight line all the way down the nail, and it is a little bit thin. So I'm just going to come in and thicken that up. I find it easier to draw on a thin line first of all, and then make it a little bit thicker, rather than coming in and trying to draw on a thick line to begin with, if that makes sense. It also means that you've got plenty of chances to neaten it up as well. So again, I'm just coming down, getting that a little bit thicker and trying to make it look as even as possible so that it's not thick in some areas and thin in others. As you can see, it does look a little bit wonky. It's not straight, but I'm going to come in and straighten it up using some gel polish to begin with. And then I'm going to switch to using my angled nail art brush. So this is also from Kiki London and it has a really stiff tip. So I like to moisten it with either a bit of alcohol or acetone, and then it's great for cleaning up and creating crisper lines. I then pop that into Cure and I'm going to come in and do exactly the same going across the nail. A little bit easier going across the nail as it's a shorter amount of space that you've got to get across. So it's definitely easier than coming down the nail. But I'm doing exactly the same as before. I'm going to start off with a thin line and then thicken it up. Now, one of the things I find easier to do when I am hand painting is make sure that my brush is loaded with enough gel polish. So I really work the gel polish through the bristles, but then I rub off the excess on my palette before I make contact with the nail. That way you've got enough gel polish running through the bristles, but you haven't got it drip in or pull in at the end of the brush, and I do find that that makes it a little bit easier. So I'm then going to pop that in to cure for 30 seconds, and then to finish off the wrapping paper details, I'm going to use the Festive Bow water decals, which are also from Kiki London. So I've cut out the one that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to apply this bow using the stamper method. So I'm going to take my jelly stamper, I've got the clear jelly stamper here, and I'm just going to place that face down onto my stamper, and then using the angled nail art brush again, I'm going to dip it into some room temperature water and moisten the back of the backing paper of that water decal. You don't need to apply loads of water, you just want to apply enough, and I find it speeds up the process if you really brush it in, because that way the backing paper is going to release from the image nicely, and then you're going to have the image left on your stamper. Sometimes it takes around 10-20 seconds for that water to soak in, and then you're able to just slide that backing paper away and you're left with your bow. Then I'm just going to stamp this down right in the center of the nail just to finish off the present look. And I quite love how this looks. I think it looks super cute, to be honest, and it'd look really nice in a full set of cream and gold nails. So once again, I'm going to seal this in. So I want this now to stay matte, and I am going to be adding on the reindeer embellishment still, but I thought I would come in and matte top coat at this step. Now, ideally, if you're doing this on a client and you want your embellishment to last a lot longer, I would maybe do the rubber top coat first, then apply the gem, and then do the matte top coat. But I just decided to do it this way around because I wasn't really thinking, but it still works out because I've applied the matte top coat and cured that. Then I'm just going to apply a tiny amount of the rubber top coat where I want my embellishment to go. And I do test it at the end of the video and it does still stay on nice and securely. But I would always recommend just having a little bit of top coat going around the embellishment, as that's going to hold it on even better. But I'm just placing that rubber top coat down on the area where I want my little reindeer to go. Then I'm going to pick that up and place it down into the rubber top coat. It will sink into that top coat slightly where it's a thicker top coat, which is great because it helps hold it in place and it stops it also sliding around before popping it into cure. So I'm going to then pop that in to cure for a final 60 seconds. And this, guys, is the finished result. I thought it looked super, super cute. And I love how the gold reindeer looks against that matte background. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, I will see you tomorrow for the next day in our advent calendar. Lots of love. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.